Hello and welcome to Warframe. My name is Todd, also known as Manjamek, and this is of course a Warframe. Last time we left off completing the second dream quest, and man, that was a long episode. This time we're going to make this one a little bit shorter. Our major goals, while we could do stuff on the moon, is to continue across Pluto and to majorly unlock the index. The index of course will help us out greatly, modding our Warframe weapons, among other things, and I'll explain that kind of when we get there. The other things we have to do, of course, is we have to unlock the Pluto Junction at some point, which means that we also need to unlock Psamathe. Forgive me if I'm not saying that correctly. Maybe it's just Psamathe, I'm not sure. And Medea, because Psamathe is where the hyena pack is, and Medea is the spy. The only spy, I believe, on Neptune. So that is what it is. Successful data extractions. I don't think that should be too much of a problem, though we only have one cipher and no salvage to make anymore, sadly. But this weekend, the Gift of the Lotus has spawned again. It is still the event, Buried Debts, Operation Buried Debts, is still ongoing. So those are things that could be done if you're looking at doing them. Another thing that just happened is because it's close to St. Patrick's Day in the United States and Canada, I believe. I'm pretty sure Canadians celebrate St. Patrick's Day the same way Americans do, by getting horribly drunk. Anyway, because it's close to St. Patrick's Day, that means that the Shamrock color palette is out, so you can get that. It gets you some nice greens, some nice golds, some oranges, and a nice blue. So we'll pick that up. Not massively useful. I don't think I'll be using any of those colors personally, but it's not half bad. I did take the liberty to create some shield boosters, or some shield restorers specifically, because I saw what type of mission we were going into next, and it's a hijack, of course. I don't think there's anything else I really did aside from that. Yeah, all the mods are the same. I did recustomize our kiddo a little bit, so as I stated previously, you can of course just come up to your kiddo at any point now and recustomize them. I kind of recustomized ours, gave him a red suit instead of a white suit like he had previously. Not too much different. I took off the earrings just because I didn't really like the earpiece style. And there we go. Yeah, so we're just going to jump into the hijack and hopefully do okay. I don't think we'll have any problems with a basic hijack mission. It's a shame that nobody else is doing it because we could use the help. Hyena. Now, I think the Hyena pack drops the Loki parts, which we may decide to actually get our hands on Loki. He might become our third Warframe. Do we have a slot for a third Warframe? I think we do, if I'm not mistaken, because he'll greatly help us out for spy missions, among other things. So in between parts, I might decide to farm him up and try and build him. I'll skip that. We don't need to see any of that. We've seen it all before.
To hijack a Corpus rover loaded with valuable cargo and escort it to our extraction point.
Oh, good.
The Corpus are trying to scavenge anything of value from these crashed ships. This rover is carrying their most important finds.
We've got a friend to come along with us. That's kind of nice. So I'm just going to rush towards our objective here, because the quicker we get there, the quicker we can finish this mission and be done with it. Yeah, a lot of ospreys here. There we go. Go up this elevator. Whoop. We're gonna roll over here. We're gonna open that door. Start this bad boy.
The rover is active, but wait. The Corpus have remotely corrupted its power cell. Hold on. I will reconfigure the rover to draw power from your shields.
Yeah, I don't think anything major really needs to be said about these. We can run all these guys down because they're right in our path pretty simply. And we'll keep using our shield restores. We got 6 of them, as you can see. I'm only really planning on using 4 of them. Fairly simple to keep going, especially with that Excalibur dealing with mostly enemies. It's It's a shame Taxon's dead already. He actually was massive help with this sort of thing. I don't think we have to worry about the rat elves.
Walkers incoming. So far, so good.
We'll try and get him out of here, though. Oh boy. I'm not sure where that Excalibur went. I don't know what exactly he's doing. But I could use the assistance here. Oh man. I think I'm going to go down, but that's actually kind of for the better because we can get Taxon back. That's okay. We'll respawn. I'm going to get his Taxon back.
The Corvus are pulling back the rover. You
Give
need
us a
to stay
chance
close to maintain control.
to
The rover
upgrade
is
our
taking
abilities here.
damage. The Corvus would rather destroy it than let us escape with its cargo.
Alright, so that gives us Taxon back, which will give us more shields as the mission goes on. We won't have so many problems dealing with the small dudes. I'm not sure where that Excalibur went just a second ago. He was just kind of off on his own little mission there.
Keep going. That rover's contents will be a huge boost to our cause.
Sniper rifle's really handy in situations like this where you can just pick your enemies off from afar. Not have to worry about them. You do have to go for those headshots, which sometimes can be annoying. Sometimes. Not always, but definitely sometimes. Alright. Moas. I just really don't want to fall in front of the rover like we did last time. I would have tried to go save that guy, but I think it's probably in our best interest to just keep moving. Since this is a hijack and all.
You have almost reached the extraction point. Keep fighting.
Alright, let's pop another shield restore. Should give us what we need. The other guy should come over here eventually, give us some more shields. There we go. Okay. So, now that we're pretty much assured that we're finished with this place, we can head into the index. We will be doing one round of the index. Or, yeah, I think we'll do at least just one round. Ouchie. Get out of here, turret. And I highly recommend to anyone new that you do a round of the index. To start out with, as I stated before, it's a very good way to get credits. It's also a great way to get some endo as well. There we go. Now that that guy's there with us, we can finally get enough shield to get going. He's got a Dara Vandal. I think is what that weapon is there. Okay, so we're good. Thankfully, we had somebody jump in and help us out there, which is quite nice. Usually, on these missions like this, you don't get that too often. Let me see here. I don't think there's anything else I'd prefer to do aside from the index. So we'll do one round of the index, and then we'll try out the hyena boss, and we'll see how that goes. In between parts, I'll definitely farm up the index at the very least. The index is massively useful, and you'll see why. So the index is a lot like a game, except you're playing against AIs, you're not playing against other players, so you don't have to worry about that. You can see that it says minimum investment 30,000 credits, and that is the case. The way the index works is if you click the index, you'll get these three screens, which kind of show the different levels of the index. The first level of the index is you invest 30,000 credits and you have a potential profit of 75,000 credits. So that's a massive upgrade, and you can do that repeatedly forever. There's no diminishing returns or anything like that. And because it's a double credit weekend, that's also fantastic. We'll probably get just a ton of credits. Trying to keep from cursing too much. The minimum or medium risk investment or medium risk index, criminies. You invest 40,000 credits and you have a chance to get 135,000. And then the high risk, of course, you invest 50,000, you have a chance to get 200,000. So as you can see, the more you invest, the more likely you are to get a higher profit. However, the amount of points needed to win each consequentially also goes up. So to win
Orders has been
the
counted
minimum
stock,
risk,
operator.
or
All
the
accounted
low
for.
risk index, you only need 50 points to win. To win the medium risk, you need 75 points. To win high risk, you need 100 points. It should also be noted that once you go into medium risk, you are afflicted with financial stress. 1 point of it automatically from starting, and when you go into high risk, you're afflicted with 2 points of financial stress automatically. Financial stress is the kind of the debuff that you get in the index. Every time you pick up a point, or when you're in medium or high risk, you have financial stress. For each point, or the extra points added by these two modes, for each point of that, you effectively lose an energy per second, and you also have less HP, or health. So the medium and high risk are not for lower level players. I would not recommend you go into those until you have pretty much a fully modded Warframe and weapon set. It should also be noted that enemies in the index level up exponentially based on how many points you gather. I've seen enemies in the index up to level 400. The index is where you will run across ridiculously high level enemies, and also, as you play longer, the harder the enemies get. It's much better to start out on low risk, because the enemies start out like level 30, I think it is, and by the time you're done, they'll only be maybe at most level 50. So that's a fantastic place to start. You can get a lot of credits very quickly, even on low risk, and you can also get the mods that drop. All of the mods are of gold quality, or of, I think it's rare quality is what they call them, and you can trade those in for endo very quickly, so you can get endo and credits very fast just by running low risk index, and I will show that off right now. Why not? Let's invest 30,000 credits. I highly recommend that you do not do the index solo. The index is not to be trifled with, especially not on solo. But I'll show it off how it kind of works. So in the index, there are points to regenerate energy and health and ammo. Ammo does drop from the enemies, I believe, but health and energy I don't think they do. The major points of the index are survival and killing. So you do not want to die because you will lose all your points, and you do not want to not be able to kill your enemies because you won't be able to gain points. Whoop. We're going to avoid those. So that was one of the enemies, of course. These points here show either energy or health, so make sure you go to those if you need energy or health. You can see there's one health right next to me. The enemies do take a lot of hits. They tend to be like very similar to boss-style enemies, so don't think that you can just steamroll your way through these guys here. Thankfully, it looks like we've got a high-level player with us, so he's soaking up all the... he's taking them down pretty quickly, or he's soaking up all the damage. We just have to make sure that we don't take too much damage. And the major thing is you can see that there's like green things circling around the other players. If we can gather one of those, you'll see what I mean. You can also watch our health. Right now it's 540, and there's a mod that was dropped by one of the enemies. If we can grab 1 point, just 1 point, then we can show off how it will reduce your health and also drain your energy. Let's roar, since we got the energy for it. Should be noted that effectively, as you gather more points, you get bonus points as well. So, let's kill this guy and kind of hopefully be able to show that off. No, we're really going to have to try to get one of these guys, get a point. Sniper rifle is not necessarily the best thing for the index, but it is pretty okay because it will kind of level up. There we go, we gathered 1 point. So you can see our health went down just a little bit, and we'll slowly lose energy over time. If we die, we drop all the points that we gathered. If you gather enough points, you will get bonus points. So you want to gather approximately about 10 points and then cash them in. You can cash them in at the yellow waypoint. So that's something to note. Shouldn't be too hard to understand. The first time you come in, I would highly recommend, again, that you gather a very tanky frame. That will help you the most. Thankfully, the index is populated by a lot of players because everybody needs credits. So going in with a group is usually the best, even if you don't have great weapons. It's kind of hard to explain all in one go. The index is just really kind of in-depth. There's lots of different things about it. Oh, we gathered our second point. So I could go cash these points in right now, but gathering at least 5 points up is good. It should also be noted that there is a time limit. So we have currently a time limit of 245 seconds. You can cash in points to gain time as well. So effectively the index could be infinite. But that does not mean it is infinite. If you run out of time, the game is up and you lose effectively. So don't run out of time. Even if you don't have enough points to really gain bonus points, it is worth cashing those points in. So you can try and gain good bonus time. All the enemies are effectively like very similar to Corpus enemies, but they are very tough, as you can kind of see. They are leveling up. You can see they're already level 50. So that is a whole thing. Let's see. This bugger. Let's kill him. I didn't get those points, but that's okay. Well, let's go cash in our points and you can kind of see how that mechanic works before the game ends. Effectively, this is pretty much how the index is. It's very quick, very fast-paced. You can gather the credits you need very, very quickly. Though I don't recommend that you stay after one run, especially if you're new, just because of you will be fighting the same high-level enemies as you invest and go further. So that's just something to note. We only killed 2 people and we only gathered 3 points, but that's how it goes sometimes. Thankfully, because of that, we gained 75,000 credits. That one mod that we picked up will also gain us some stuff. And this is pretty much how you can gain a ridiculous amount of credits. So if you've seen like experienced players, this is pretty much how they have ridiculous amounts, like 100 million credits or something like that. That's pretty much how they do it, is by just doing the index. That should give you a basic like baseline for the index. Let's see, what mod did we get? Let's sort by rarity. Let's sort by recent. So we just got 2 tether grenade mods. I don't know if we got the shield charger mod, but effectively we could get rid of one of these, for instance, and get 15 endo. You'll get lots and lots of those, and I do mean lots, as you kind of progress through the index and farm up the credits needed for buying certain things, so don't be afraid to pick those up. But that's a very, very basic run of the index. Rhino's a fantastic Warframe for the index. That's why it's great to have him early on in the game. Once you've kind of gathered up enough credits and endo from doing the index, among other things, you'll pretty much be set for upgrading and dealing with all the rest of the kind of star chart that you're looking at. Let's do our basic assassination. We just gotta fight the hyena pack. Hyena pack isn't easy. I don't know if we'll have that many problems with it.
Orders, operator?
We'll do the hyena pack, and I think that'll close out our episode here. Let's take a look at how much time we spent. Yeah, that'll close us out. We might get somebody to come with us if we're lucky.
I contracted you with a mark. You are here to find your mark and eliminate the assigned target.
So,
Recent innovations in Corpus robotics have led to a surge in production. Their newest animal-like proxy is an unrelenting hunter. Codenamed Hyena, this robot is designed to work in packs.
pretty much as the Lotus stated, this isn't just one enemy, this is multiple. The hyena pack is kind of an annoyance like that. Let's see. Let's destroy all these guys. Plop him. That one. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna run through here. Let's run over here.
Our operatives have identified at least 4 different variations of the hyena model, each with a different specialization and arsenal of attacks.
So, by specialization, she means a type of damage they will deal.
Use caution. The hyena pack will work together to try and take you down.
That sentiment is not
You've
incorrect.
located the VIP. Time to go to work.
Should also be noted the hyena pack does cling onto walls and is quite tough. They move around a lot, do a lot of damage. Thankfully our corrosive should be able to deal with them pretty good on our sniper. Come on, we do want to focus on one specific hyena, as they will kind of regenerate their shields over time, which is very problematic to us. And don't be afraid to clean up any of the enemies around as well. The hyenas will kind of come after you, so pretty much the one that's focusing on you, coming after you, is probably the one to deal with first. I'm being very mobile just because I don't have infinite energy, of course. And there's just tons of ospreys coming after us here. Okay, we need to move out of that. So I don't think we have enough energy to recast Iron Skin, so we may go down at some point fighting these guys, but that's okay. Majorly, if you're by yourself and you're not super experienced with hyenas, staying back and just picking them off is kind of a good option. Another option would be to try and tank them through their damage. Oh, I almost forgot. You can also, now that we've completed the second dream, activate your beam ability, which is by pressing 5. Not massively useful against the hyena pack, it's more useful against sentients. But if you press 5, this is what happens. Ability not ready. Oh. I was saying that it should work, but I guess it doesn't yet. There we go. That's pretty much the ability that you get for completing the second dream. It does an okay amount of damage, so using it against the hyena pack isn't necessarily a problem. It does have a limited range and a recharge. You can see in the bottom right of my screen there, there's like a little blue circle with kind of like a 5 circles inside of it. That's the symbol for our recharge for our ability there. It does do an okay amount of damage, but overall could be better. I thought we were going to fight more than 2 hyenas, but I guess I'm wrong.
Nice work taking down the VIP. Now get to extraction.
I thought the hyena pack was at
Heavy
least
robotic
3,
signature detected. Lock
but
and
oh well.
load.
Thankfully taking those 2 out wasn't too hard. Our ability kind of helped us out. Once that blue circle on our little meter down there fills up, we can activate that beam ability. It does an okay amount of damage. I don't remember it really doing that much damage, but it will get replaced later on by something even better.
They won't be bothering us anymore. Let's get out of here.
And so, there we go. So we defeated the hyena pack, and it is Loki's parts that we'll get from them. I think I'll probably gather those up, start building them. Next time we probably... I might try and create Loki in the time between now and the next part, just so we can kind of show him off, but we'll see.
Inbox messages make me ill.
I will definitely try and gather some more stuff up in the index, credits and whatnot for mods, and probably the Loki parts at the very least, so we can try and work towards that. Next time we'll either attempt a spy. Next time we will attempt a spy to try and complete it for the Pluto Junction, and failing that we'll probably do some stuff on the moon. Otherwise we'll maybe start working our way across to Pluto. But until then, goodbye.